Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now. No, he has not been a failure at Bayern Munich. Well, obviously, I'm going to put the title anyways because it will probably make you click. The reason you clicked on this is when you wanted to find out if Hansi Flick was the success at Bayern Munich that we all think he is or not, and he isn't. Hansi Flick has brought to me joy. I have not seen my team play this way and since I started watching football more regularly. Obviously, we've always been known for, since 2013, I would say this, as much as I don't like Pep Guardiola, I'd say since not Carlo Ancelotti, since Jupp Heynckes left, Pep was the most successful manager we had. Since Jupp Heynckes left, Pep became the most successful after Jupp left. Jupp was more successful than any manager in the recent history over the last few decades, right? Jupp was more successful. He got us to two Champions League finals, and he was here two times. Was it three? For being as a manager, he was here quite a few times, but it doesn't matter. So, has Hansi Flick failed? No. But Hansi Flick, for me, is already matched what Pep Guardiola did. I know it sounds weird, but what I'm trying to say here is what Hansi Flick has done for this team so far, for me, has, the players seem extremely happy, first of all. With Pep, there's a feeling that, he isn't an interactive manager. He's not a Jurgen Klopp where he's a man manager, where he'll tell you something and you'll go win a big game. Hence why Pep Guardiola teams tend to fluke out in Champions League semi-finals and quarterfinals all the time, because I don't think Pep has the motivational and management skills to tell a player something, motivational to make them run through brick walls. Mourinho looks like he does it well, where he tells a player something, but Hansi Flick does everything. I think the tactical side, we were hearing players, Davies came out and said, Hansi has helped us tactically, but he also lets us play our way. Hansi Flick's system is incredibly brilliant. He implemented the tactics we needed. He makes it simple. And if you watch us on the pitch, there's a big difference to Niko Kovac. It's kind of weird because it just tells you how much influence the manager has on how the team plays, because the assistant manager was Hansi Flick before Kovac got sacked. It was Hansi Flick for a few months. Actually, we put Hansi Flick in last summer, and Robert Kovac was moved down, I think, to Niko Kovac's other assistant manager. I don't know what it was, to just a coach merely. But if you think about it, Hansi Flick was already here, so you would have thought this stuff would happen in games. But I'm telling you, the managers have a huge influence on how the team play. People always tell me, well, managers can't just do everything. They can't just, yeah. Well, Hansi Flick is doing it, and he's doing it at a top level. He's doing it against Chelsea, against Leipzig. Remember the Leipzig game? One thing I had with Flick before this whole nice form is this guy going to be tactically flexible when we go against someone like RB Leipzig, who will have different plans each second, or against a higher team? I guess that would be Chelsea in this case. Teams like this, teams that know how to kill us, teams that know how to stagger us. And he passed most of the test, and he did fail too. I mean, actually, that was towards the beginning. We lost to Mönchengladbach and Bayer Leverkusen. That's pretty normal. We usually lose to about 2-3 teams in the season, and those happen to be a lot in Dortmund as well. Leipzig we usually struggle against, but we did struggle against Leipzig a few months ago. But not struggle as in we just struggled. We just couldn't score. We just couldn't conjure up the right opportunities. It wasn't due to us being bad or Hansi Flick's tactics not working. They were working. Leipzig were just as good as, if not better than us in that game. And they probably deserved something with the chance Sabitzer missed. It was very crazy. But Hansi Flick has shown me the tactical side of his game is very flexible. He's shown me that he can motivate his players to keep going through brick walls despite the game not working. His substitutions, that's something that I hated under Kovac, man. This 70th minute crap he was doing every single week. Tell me this. Kovac would literally make these substitutions 81st minute. The most common sub, I'm guessing, was 83rd minute. He didn't rotate enough. He would rotate too much and then never rotate. It was very, very bipolar with Kovac and then the way we played. We go beat Spurs and then we just go get slapped up by Paderborn, who outplay us or something, and get slapped up by Hoffenheim. And under Flick, Hansi Big D-I-C, the rest, Flick. That's what I'm calling him. What he's done, I mean, think about the Hoffenheim result. That was my favorite moment. That was the moment that I said, this is my manager forever. This guy went up to the Bayern Ultras. He's like 5'9". He's not that tall. He just telling them off. Shut up. 6. That's what he was telling them. Hansi Flick was telling them 6. Shut up. And they didn't. But still, the guts to do that, especially against your own fans, is different for Hansi Flick. And that's one moment that really he put himself, you know, I guess I still love him regardless of that, if that moment happens or not, but it just solidified it. Let's talk about his tactics. So let's talk about this. So this is Hansi Flick's team, right? We all know the regular faces are in there. Your Mullahs, your Lewandowskis, right? He's put a lot of players that were playing well under Kovac in his team. What he's done well is he's taken players that weren't performing as great, like Boateng. Let me change that actually. Niklas Zula, it's gonna be Boateng here, 17. Just pretend, yeah, let's put Boa. Yep. Just pretend the 17 says. Just pretend it never said number 4. So Hansi Flick, I'm gonna rate the players he's improved. For me, the highly most improved players are Boateng, Thomas Müller. He's also improved not Alphonso Davies, Serge Gnabry and his output on the final third. One criticism I had of Serge was he didn't take responsibility enough. And he has been doing it. And Neuer has become the best goalkeeper in the world again. All of a sudden, everyone now rates Neuer, which, I mean, a lot of people still think he's finished and done and dusted, but Neuer has a lot to say. So for me, I'm going to give Hansi Flick on Neuer and how he's helped him develop and improve. I'm going to give him a 10, man. A 10 out of 10. He's absolutely changed Neuer from a player that was, not even seen enough by the world, but still seen by his national team. I mean, shout out to Joachim Low for actually trusting in Manuel Neuer, because I don't know how you would trust him if I wouldn't trust Neuer if I was the German national team manager. I would probably just play Ter Stegen, but they trusted Neuer and he's proven them right. Once again, Neuer doing the business. And Pavard. Everyone knows my criticisms of Pavard. Before Hansi Flick, Pavard was another player that he was just playing every single minute, and he still is. But he wasn't, we weren't getting the best out of him, and I had my criticisms, and I still do. But Hansi Flick has made him a bit more consistent. I'm not saying he's consistently world class. He's consistently just a normal, solid player. These are players that sit on your bench, and Pavard for me is going to be a bench player. But Hansi Flick has gotten the best out of him, and he's our best right back right now because he's the only right back that's playing right back. Adriozola is getting people injured every week. Kimmich don't want to go back. So for me, Benjamin Pavard gets a 9 out of 10. Oh, no, a 7. In terms of not him as a player, but Hansi Flick's influence on him. It's a 7 out of 10 influence. Boateng, another 10. A player that was dead, but, actually, Boateng wasn't even that good. For like 2 months, February, right way into January, Boateng losing all these pounds, right? He was kind of unfit for a few games, right? And then he had a back problem, but then he came back, and then he was solid, and he's been solid ever since. And it's been a few weeks since we've seen our team play. It's been approximately 2 months almost. But the Bundesliga is coming back in about 8-9 days or so. So we'll be ready for that, and the channel will be ready for that. I'll be ready for all the match content that's coming with it. So Boateng's influence a 10. Alaba is going to get a 9. Actually an 8. Not because Hansi Flick hasn't done much on Alaba, but we always knew Alaba was the player he is. We always knew he was the composed figure at the back. He would add everything. At left back, he did it. At center back, he's doing it again. So Boateng isn't a surprise to me that he's performing world class in any position. We've always known he was versatile. Maybe under Pep, we did play him a center back at times and go, oh my God, this guy's not a good center back. He's not playing that great. But for me, Alaba has done well here at this center back position, and I think it's his. Lucas Hernandez, there's no way you can tell me as a Bayern fan that you'd rather have Lucas Hernandez than Alaba, because Alaba is one of the best center backs in the world. I know he hasn't been playing center back, but I'm talking of this season. He's literally been one of the best. He has incredible ball progression stats, and he trumps Van Dijk. He trumps Varane. He trumps every single center back in ball progression. He's up there with the Upamecano's in terms of moving the ball and progressing it into the final third. So Alaba, for me, under Hansi Flick, has been superb. I'm hearing a lot. I'm going to talk about Davies now. I'm hearing a lot of sources say it was Hansi Flick's idea to play Davies as a left back for the games when Boateng or Javi Martinez both were out. I think that was Hansi Flick's idea. So if that was Hansi Flick's idea, which even if it was Kovac, we don't care because we're reaping the rewards of it. Whoever gave the idea, oh, don't care about you. We're reaping the rewards. Whoever came up with the idea, man, good. Because Davies has been a 10 out of 10. He's been the best left back in the world. I don't care what anyone tells me because Davies has everything that Robertson would be the number 2 because that's what a lot of people seem to agree with. But don't tell me Robertson's faster than Davies because he ain't. Don't tell me Robertson's better at dribbling than Davies because he ain't. Don't tell me Robertson has more influence in the Liverpool attack than Davies because he doesn't. Because Trent is doing most of the attacking for Liverpool. They attack mostly down the right, and then if they attack down the left, it's through Mane, not through Robertson. So don't tell me that either. Don't tell me Robertson doing what Davies did against Chelsea versus Chelsea if Robertson played Chelsea. It's not happening. So for me, it's Davies or nothing. This guy's going to be our left back for years to come. Hansi Flick doesn't look like he wants to move him as a winger. And I'll talk about Hansi Flick's signings in a bit. But Davies has just solidified himself. And, he's become a real beast under Hansi Flick. So for me, Alphonso Davies gets a 10. Thiago gets a 10. Let me be honest. Thiago at the beginning of the season, Hansi Flick did drop him when he first came in. Right? He was already dropped, but Hansi Flick didn't just start playing him. Thiago gets a 10. Why? Because I expect more of Thiago when he's not playing well. I expect him to be playing every single game perfect because that's the type of level he is. He's improved Thiago so much from the beginning of the season. Thiago probably just got tired from carrying us last season. He carried our midfield last season. He carried our team. I think he was our best player last season. I don't think anyone will argue with you that Thiago was at least top 3 because he was so influential. Lewandowski scored the goals, but who was the one that helped us win every single game with blood and sweat on the pitch? Thiago. And for me, he proved himself last season and he continues to do it. And although people keep doubting him, he did it. And the trust Hansi Flick has put it on him and just kept giving him the game time and put him in slowly. And now he's playing the way he is. Very, very nice for him. And he's one of my favorite players. And Thiago ready to tackle Alcantara has done well. So Kimmich. For me, Kimmich gets a 7 because... No. Actually, he gets an 8. Because we always knew, it's the same thing with Alaba, that Kimmich has been doing... there's a lot of 8s and 10s, but 1 7 so far. We always knew Kimmich was on this superb level. Kimmich, for me, I want him a right back, but I can see what people are seeing in midfield, but not defensive midfield necessarily. I call him the German Xavi because I feel he can, be that almost not deep line playmaker, but he can also, make advanced passes forward. He can play as an advanced, playmaker, who plays and drops in. Obviously, he's going to drop into the back 3. Kimmich looks like he wants to be Bastian Schweinsteiger. I heard it in an interview. He said, I want to be Bastian Schweinsteiger. I want to be Bastian Schweinsteiger. Or let me speak German for you Germans. Ich bin wants to be Bastian Schweinsteiger. I'm guessing that's German for subscribe to Bayern Now. We are currently at, that's Kimmich saying it, not me. So you have to listen because he's an important figure at our club. 301 subscribers. 303 subscribers. I refreshed it. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for subscribing and enjoying the content. But Kimmich has been superb. But I always knew Kimmich would do this. I think Kimmich and Thiago would flourish even better in a, imagine if we didn't have a 10, when Muller's gone and you move a CDM here, you could just give the license to these two to do whatever they want, which is why I really want us to get a real CDM. I was so into the Rodri guy. Mark Rocca was the CDM we needed. But Adrian Fine's coming in, so maybe there's a plan to play a 4-3-3. Hansi Flick looks like he wants to play a 4-3-3 actually. I know it sounds weird, but Muller's been playing a lot more on the right than if anything. So Thomas Muller, let's talk about him. Muller gets a 9 because, look, I was convinced Muller was going to leave this January a few months ago, like November time. I was convinced. Before Nico Kovac got sacked, I was convinced Muller was gone because he was having the best of relationships. I think Muller was playing and then he wasn't. Coutinho was playing a lot and he didn't deserve to be playing, and Muller was still, coming on and doing what Muller does, which is give you 10 assists. I'll give Coman a -10 because he's been injured all the time. Let's talk about Muller. He's been injured, right? Not injured, Muller. Coman's been injured, not Muller. So Thomas Muller for me, it looked like he was leaving. It looked like he was leaving us, and I genuinely started going, oh my god, I don't want to lose Muller. But then he just became a beast. Hansi Flick came in, had tactics that worked for him. He reintegrated into the team. He started using the lines more, and he started. Oh, Malay Kashrap, thank you for subscribing to BayernNow. You really appreciate it. Even when I'm doing a video, people are subscribing, which is amazing. Let's refresh the thing now because I just like doing it. I like refreshing it. All right, we're 304 subscribers now. Let's get to 310. But Thomas Muller for me has improved massively. Not only his just overall game as a player, I feel like he's just gotten way more leadership. He's gotten that Muller fuel again, you know? You felt like he was running dry. You just felt like under Kovac, he would just snap and just throw a shoe out or something. And then the next day, he's going to Real Madrid like Toni Kroos kind of did. Muller hasn't done that just yet. He's been superb here. And I think I'll give Muller a 9 because he deserves it. Gnabry, Serge gets a 10. 10 for me, 10. 10. No, seriously. Think about what Serge Gnabry represents on that pitch. He's a player that I criticized him beginning of the season. I said, you know what? He's been crap. People were telling me Gnabry's been playing well, but one of the best wingers in the world. Over the last few months, he became one of the best wingers in the world. But before that, this guy was not good. He wasn't taking the responsibility that I wanted him to take. He was awful at times. He didn't look like he wanted to. He would get injured, right, as he normally does, but, you know, he didn't even take the responsibility. He will come on and score a goal and get an assist. That's normal. But what I mean by responsibility is when the team's back is against a wall, just do something. And against Chelsea, you know, what he did against Spurs, that's what I want him to do more of. Not every single game, no. I want him to just take responsibility. When Lewandowski is marked out of the game, like Chelsea, take control of the game. And you'll make Lewandowski look better when Gnabry's there. And Sani too. But yeah, for me, Serge Gnabry has just been superb. I think he has really become a man. When I say a man, I mean someone who takes responsibility for their actions. He's on the pitch and it doesn't look like he's letting the game just do him. Sometimes, you remember that corner. I'm gonna play it out. Serge Gnabry, right? Everyone's over here. You know, and Gnabry just cuts it back onto his left foot, finish. That's what he needs. It was a rebound as well. That's what I mean by responsibility. Because Ian Robin did it. Frank Ribery would do it. They would take the pressure off our strikers by scoring a goal. And then that would give Lewandowski, or our strikers at the time, the onus to then go and score themselves a goal or two. That's what strikers want that. Strikers want a winger like Sani, who would take the pressure off of them and score. The reason why Leo probably beat up Coman, pow, 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 Anna Lewandowski's teaching him karate now, instead of just cooking for him. She's teaching him how to fight his own teammates. The reason why Lewandowski and Coman don't work is Coman's, if you want Coman to score a goal, you have to build into him scoring. You know, you have to make intricate passes for him. Lewandowski does that, but Coman doesn't score them. And then I think Lewa gets frustrated because, you know, if Lewandowski creates, you know, if he give him that give Lewandowski the chances Coman has and he's scoring, but Coman won't score. Give Gnabry the chances Lewandowski has and he's scoring. I think I hope I make sense. Lewandowski, he's been an 8 because I know what the level. He's world class. He's one of the best players in the world. So there's no reason for me to give him a 10. He hasn't improved. He's always been like this. Last season, he wasn't getting as many chances as he is now. And he's still scoring bangers all over the place. He's still scoring 4 goals in 30 minutes. This guy's doing it everywhere. He's doing it at a cold night away in Serbia. Okay? He's doing it for every single tournament as well. Doing a DFB Pokal, freaking Bundesliga, Champions League, quarterfinal. He's doing it. He's Lewandowski, right? I mean, Lewandowski finally scored a goal in the knockout round since 2017 against Chelsea. Or was it an away goal? I don't know. But I'm glad for him. We would have won the Champions League. And this year, he'll win the Ballon d'Or if we win the Champions League because, you know, there's no Euros. So there's no international competitions for them to base it off of. You know, there's no Liverpool anymore, so there's no Van Dijks in there. Cristiano Ronaldo and Juventus aren't winning the Champions League, so there's no Ronaldo. Messi and Barcelona are in crisis. It's usually, if it's gonna be a race, I think if PSG won the Champions League, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mbappe holding the Ballon d'Or. I wouldn't be. or even Neymar. They might give it to Neymar because it's a popularity contest, and both of them are more popular in terms of social media following. But on the pitch, Lewandowski is more popular with center backs because they know how dangerous he is. But yeah, man, Lewandowski, well, Hansi Flick, man, I gotta give this guy manager rating. Flick gets a 10 out of 10. What he's done here under the time he's had has been superb. He's brought us to being a team that was with a terrible defense, and now our defense is at least solid, and that's beautiful to watch. It's very, very nice. I won't lie, man. Hansi Flick has just done a lot. He's just improved our defense, our attacking, our passing, everything is better on the Flick. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Leave a like if Hansi Flick was a great has been a great coach. But thank you all so much for watching. Mia san mia and peace.